Hey everyone, Susie here, and today we're playing King Arthur Legends Rise. For today's video, we have a lot to go over, and I'm going to do my best to go through quickly, but this is a very large set of patch notes, so I'm going to read it so you don't have to. Alright, and if it's your first time finding me, hello, I am Susie. I used to go by Ivy League Gaming. Susie is the real name though, and I've been covering King Arthur for a month, playing it through early access. I have decided to keep my account as is. However, I'm going to purposefully play a bit slower so that the rest of the global launchers can catch up. But honestly, where I'm at with my account is only about 2 to 3 weeks of progress compared to other people I saw, and you'll be able to catch up in no time. So I'm going to purposefully slow down just so I can be very relatable very soon and try to do my best to give you guys the best advice possible based on experience and using this account to show you what's coming, what to prepare for, what to do, what not to do. So stay tuned for an honest review of the game. Brutally honest. What did I hate? What do I love? There also will be a ultimate beginner's guide. And whew, there's a lot. So first of all, the start of launch right now, we have all these. If you played already, they added in these extra packs that it looks like they gave people that we maybe missed out on. So should you buy them, just be careful, as TLDR. This is only 50 stamina, not 100. So is that better? I don't think so. Because you'd spend 100 for... This is only 250 stamina, and it would only cost you 100 diamonds to get 200 stamina, so this is... no. Here, we have 200 of these potions for only 300. That's debatable because leveling up relics is really important, but I think we're going to skip that. Now, 1900 for 20 summons. It costs 1500 for a 10 pull, so give me. We're gonna do that. Let's see here. Was there anything else that stuck out? Free. Okay, just a regular login. So these are things that you guys are gonna see pop up, and you want to be aware of this really quickly. I want to mention this before I get into the patch notes, guys. Be aware of these cool packs that will pop when you start to play, because it can be a big impact on your account. There's a really interesting one that I wish I got early on because I think the gear would have meant a lot. It was like 5,000 diamonds, but it was a ton of gear and resources. And in hindsight, people said it was a bad deal because you could get crap gear. But I still have crap gear, and 30 days in, I wish I got that. That was only 1 weekend. All right, and here again, 22. Okay, I'm definitely buying anything with summons that are a good value because I probably would have spent summons anyway. There's some really interesting... oh my gosh! Some really interesting purchasable packages here. That's incredible. Oh my god. Okay, I could spend a whole video just looking at the offers, apparently. But I'm not going to do that. We're going to... oh my god, this is so clever. The shard points, you can choose who you buy in a shop. I'm going to go as fast as I can through the other thing. But look at it. 5,000 points to buy a legendary hero, and it gives you... it's like selling your duplicates in Watcher of Realms. Or if there's a rare you're missing, boom, just grab them. But yeah, that's... okay. That is interesting. Alright, I wish I could spend more time going over everything that looks different, but we have to read about everything that looks different first, so let's just do that. I'm gonna do my best to give the TLDR, because this is really, really big. Lots of hero changes, so nerfs and buffs, both of them, I'm assuming. Let's get into it. So, Guinevere Hero Dungeon Event, Prologue, The Dawn of War, Stamina Consumption Event, and Monster Hunter Event. I guess I will at least click those so we can see what we're referring to. This is a special event where you get bonuses based on using certain heroes that are part of the event. So, if you summon and get a Guinevere, use her. If you have Lancelot and Merlin, use him. This is kind of the deal here. So they're really encouraging you to get her. There's a hero event here to test her. And there are summoning banners. And then there are prologues for just going through the story. Now, the only unfortunate thing for all of this, for us that have already played, is it's going to be wasted stamina, but this is amazing. This is a really, really good set of just go through, do a ton of stuff that you would be doing anyway, just progressing the game, and get a lot of free rewards. Stamina consumption event is, yeah, you better use all this stamina because you need to work on the account. It is a grind. Definitely take advantage of the stamina. And then, yeah, Monster Hunter ranking is just beating stuff in the game. Whoever beats more stuff gets high rank. All right, so simple events. Guinevere is a rate up and Merlin are a rate up. I am glad to see they did put those on separate banners. So if you're like me and you're played early access, well, you don't need to summon from the Merlin banner. You probably want to summon on the Guinevere banner if you don't have her. However, if you want to get Merlin's Chivalry and get duplicates, it's a good chance to do it. So this is really nice to see. And I will probably do summons for Guinevere myself, unless this says she's terrible, which I don't believe it does. All right, and this is the basics. So let's start here. Guinevere hero adjustments. Guinevere. So adjusted the effects here. It applies damage taken reduction of 12% instead of 10%. So a lot of this might not mean much if you are a brand new player, but at least you can see how they did their hero rebalances to start off global. So I'll try to kind of mention whatever I can as I go. Her passive skill. So this is just her passives. Okay, not with a specific relic. So they adjust a lessened, so 100% chance to decrease the duration of romantic reversal on all other allies by 10 turns down to 9 turns. So they lowered it one more. They nerfed that one skill, but they buffed her other stuff, I know. So let's see. This looks the same. 9 turns instead of 10 turns again for the duration of romantic reversal, which I'm not going to get into what those are. There's no time for that. The flame relic for Guinevere. We had a change to, let's see, the shield went from 5% of her max HP to 9% of her max HP. So she's going to provide better support with her fire or flame relic. And then same here, I think it's just, okay, the shields went from the ally with the lowest current HP will also gain an extra shield, 19% of her HP, and grant a co-op attack where it was just a 15% shield, so there's a buff for that. Her Storm Relic went from 6% shield to all allies except yourself to 10% shield of all allies except yourself, but based on her max HP. Again, with the Flame Relic, the active skill 3 went for an increased damage. So adjusted the effect to attack one enemy 4 times. Total damage is 100% attack plus 260% defense. So the good thing with her, it definitely sounds like you can build her with an HP and a defense focus, and she'll actually pump out some damage as well. And that was the Storm Relic, right? There's a lot of changes here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry, this one was the Flame Relic active skill 3. And now we're going on to the Frost Relic active skill 3. More damage again. So attacks all enemies 3 times. Total damage is 45% attack plus 165% defense from only 90. So they lowered the attack amount but improved the defense amount quite a lot. So you can build her like a proper tank and support hero. Storm Relic active skill 3 is again increasing our damage from less from the attack again and more from the defense. Okay, so that is Guinevere. So change the number of times required to complete clan group missions. Now, this was very easy to do before. There's some clan changes that need to happen. It doesn't look like they did them, unfortunately. Like requiring 25 out of 25 logins to the clan section of the game every single day is not fun. That's not cool. If one person has life because life, you just forget to click that part of the game that day or don't go open the game at all, the whole clan loses a summon. Not good. All right, so... okay, they made it harder. Win the equipment dungeon times 1,000. Clear frozen plains times 1,000. More equipment. Okay, this actually makes sense because The clan group missions, I feel like every week we would do that in the first 1 or 2 days. It was way too easy. So this makes sense. They realized people were completing them immediately. That's fair. Difficulty adjustments in favor dungeons. So this is the way to get your like faction type resources for awakening your heroes. So they actually made the bosses hit harder, have higher defense, and have higher HP for floors 8 and 9 of all of them. So they made it harder, which is, I guess, fair because I think 7 is really hard, the stupid boss. I think it's 7. But then 8 and 9 are not as dramatically different as what it seemed, although I have not done them myself. All right, difficulty adjustments for Yskalhaig and Origin of Apolleia. These are the 2 dragon dungeons to get gear, which you should not overly spend time in, honestly. Just get the resources to forge the gear, because you really want to be forging the vigor gear and accuracy, honestly. Other than that, maybe some life gear for the healers, but you really are going to be mostly forging those 2 sets, I would say. And counterattack sets, oh my god, so useful in something like Penvid. Alright, so let's see what they did here. Okay, 7 they did make easier, thank goodness. The attack is less, and the HP is less. For the young dragons and the main dragon itself, the red dragon, everything is less. Okay, and then same goes for the Origin of Apolleia, the other dragon there. And the body parts, everything is lower stats, so they made this easier. So they made favorite dungeons harder, and they made the 2 dragon gear dungeons, equipment dungeons, easier. That's a smart balance, honestly. It makes sense. So skill info improvements for the text. There's been a lot of weird wordings, and that maybe didn't make as much sense. So let's see here for Merlin. His Storm Relic, active skill 2. Well, now says attacks 1 enemy 4 times. The total damage is 140% attack. The first 3 hits have a 40% independent chance to grant each ally a critical damage increase 1 for 1 turn. Upon critical strike, 90% independent chance to grant each ally critical... Okay, so it made it more clear that every single hit has the chance to do it, where in something like Raid Shadow Legends, when you're using a stun set, for example, you only have 1 chance to proc the stun even if you hit like 4 times, right? At least that's how I remember it, unless they changed it, it's been 2 years. But that's still the case, there you go. Yeah, so they made it more clear, and that's how they changed the wording for the other skills as well, so I'm not going to reread that one either. It's just a little bit of an adjustment based here, like recharging vigor plus 0.5 vigor. It says 100% chance to charge vigor by 0.5. So they just made the wordings a little better and then clarified when things are independent chances for each moment or each hit or each ally, right? So it's not like, does it go on every single ally, or does each ally have an independent RNG factor into it? If there's less than 100% chance, or you need accuracy to land something, for example. All right, lot. What's different here? 80%, it says the same thing. 80% chance for each hit to inflict. Oh, okay. It was actually effect resistance decreased 2 instead of 1 for lot for his Storm Relic. And then they changed it here for his passive skill. So at the start of the battle, it's now 100% chance, independent chance to grant each ally effect accuracy increase 2 for the rest of the battle. 50% chance to gain effect resistance increase 1 for 1 turn. And then his other passive skill, which also ties in with his Chivalry 1. At the start of each battle, independent chances to grant each ally, blah, blah, blah. Independent chance to grant each ally. Okay. So they're just really clarifying a lot of these. Gawain now says 100% chance to, for the last hit to inflict Burning Sun for 1 turn. Now the weather does not have to be day and heat for that to happen. So that's a little buff for Gawain's active skill 3. Unless that was just a typo with the wording and that wasn't the case before. If this is a change, then he got a little buff and he's already very, very good. So same thing here. Independent chance to inflict it versus when the weather is a certain thing. I kind of like the weather stuff though. I feel like that's going to add a whole nother element to making our team successful in hard content, especially later on. Maybe now we're still learning and figuring it out and just smashing our way through when we can, or putting the right things, maybe not considering all of the elements, like the weather elements. So I don't know. This was a thing here too. Did they get rid of the weather? I hope not. Because here's another one where they're changing when the weather is this or when the weather is no longer this. Okay, no, never mind. As long as the weather is day. So as long as the weather is heat. And then they added a 50% chance to grant hit accuracy, increase 1 for 1 turn with his passive. All right. And Chivalry 1, same thing. Granted all these buffs, which they kind of changed to Guardian of May. For the rest of the battle, as long as the weather is day, or a chance to gain Guardian May as long as the weather is heat. And same thing, adding the hit accuracy increase for that passive. His Chivalry 1, they changed from granting a defense decrease during day, and defense increase during day or heat, to strengthening Knight of May to Guardian of May, which are like their specific skills and buffs or debuffs. So that's something to look at in game. Again, I'm not going to pull all this stuff up. We would be here for hours. Gillian, her Frost Relic. So this is the one that everyone says you must have for Gillian, right? Right? So I hope they didn't nerf it. They just changed the wording. It looks like attacks one enemy, does damage, 60% chance to reduce the target's attack gauge, 30% independent chance to heal each ally, 14% or 14.3% of Gillian's max HP. So 30%, instead of a chance to heal all allies, each individual ally has a chance to be healed. That's so weird. And then 100% chance to heal the ally with the lowest HP. Such a strange thing to, like, a chance to heal someone, only a chance. I'm used to that with debuffs and landing things, but not with a buff or a heal. But okay, it can be different, I guess. Same thing with Ian here. It used to say 100% chance to remove a debuff from all allies, and now it's 100% independent chance to remove one debuff from each ally. Again, just specifying that every moment of a cleanse or a heal or a whatever is going to have an independent chance. Same thing with her active skill 3 with her Flame Relic, and the Frost Relic active skill 2, independent chances for each ally instead of a guarantee, or instead of a batch of all at once. And then we have Morgan here. So she used to change the weather to night and then do these effect accuracy increase 3 until the weather is no longer night, and get attack speed increase 3 until the weather is no longer night. Now it's 100% chance to change the weather to night, so she still does. 100% chance to gain effect accuracy increase 3 for the rest of the battle as long as it's night. So it used to be if the weather was not night in the wording. It was just really bad wording, apparently. That's not what they would have meant. So she will gain these things if the weather is still night. So as long as you don't have, like, she changes the weather to night and then someone else changes it to day. Oh god, what happens when you have two people in a team? I never even noticed that yet. When you have two people in a team that both change the weather to something. Okay, so like if you start off with, like, when entering the battle, changes the weather to day. When she reaches below 50% HP, she's going to change the weather to night. So that could throw off your team synergy if you need the weather to stay day. Really interesting, right? I think that's a really cool part of this game. So again, a lot of this is probably sounds like a foreign language if you're a new player and you're still watching this anyway. Appreciate you, by the way. But at least you can kind of get an idea of the way some of these mechanics in this game are really going to work. It's pretty cool. Her passive skill, same thing. changes the weather to night, chance to do all these things, independent chances to do whatever for each enemy versus just does it to all enemies. So interesting there. Chivalry tier 1 at the start of the battle, 100% chance to grant each ally damage dealt increase 1 for the rest of the battle as long as the weather is night. So definitely something to keep in mind, trying to synergize a team that wants and needs night. Even if it's someone else can make sure it's night before, so that way she can take advantage of it being night for all of the other skills, except that doesn't require her to have 50% or less HP. All right, Lancelot's passive skill. Just, again, change the wording to 100% chance to gain, or to change the weather to rain. So, for the rest of the battle, as long as the weather is rain. All right, when using skill 3, so same thing, changes the weather to rain, 100% chance to grant damage dealt increase for the rest of the battle. So a little, again, wording just, and then, but they changed some wordings and they kind of, yeah, made it flow in a more logical manner, where it was like, change the weather to rain and remove all debuffs. Now it's like, changes the weather to rain, then does this, also does this, also does this. So continuing that trend of proper information and wording changes, I think, not necessarily changing people's kits per se. Maybe that's how things were always working before for some of these. It just was worded poorly. All right, same thing here. Yeah, just a wording change. Bodwin, 100% chance to lose damage over time from self, to remove a damage over time from himself. So just a wording change. Oh, they did change his Bodwin's Flame Relic from 2 attacks to 1 attack. Oh, it says attacks 1 enemy. It probably still is 2 times. They just forgot to put that in. I don't see why they would change that. Attacks 1 enemy 2 times. Attacks 1 enemy probably 2 times. But maybe not. Maybe it is only 1 time now. I don't know. 100% chance to lose a DOT. You just remove 1. You don't lose it. You remove it. All right, Urians. So this is same thing, just changing the wordings to be more logical regarding if the target has a defense decrease, then he deals additional damage, and then 100% chance to gain a counter attack state for 1 turn. With his Frost Relic, skill 2. Same thing, just, yep, moving around wordings. So no, it doesn't look like they really nerfed or buffed a lot of people. It's just adjusting the stats as well. So, okay, here we go. Now these are, that was that whole batch, was just adjusting the wordings to be more logical and provide better information. Now, specific hero chivalry skill description improvements. So again, description improvements, not changing their skills, right? So Guinevere, now we'll say for Chivalry 8 as if we have that, but we'll pretend we do and wish we did. After an ally attacks, if the hero has a crit damage or critical strike damage increase, deals damage based on attack to all enemies. His passive now states attacks 1. When attacking, attacks 1 time, hitting 1 random enemy, damage 110%. This attack ignores defense. That's pretty much what is said before. Attacks 1 random enemy. Attacks 1 time, hitting 1 enemy. Okay, they're just, yep. So we're just being more and more descriptive for all of these. I think I'm just going to scroll through and say the same, say what changed for some slight wording differences in case you want to go and see them in action for yourself as well. So Lot, Chivalry 3. Slight wording change. Gareth, Chivalry 3. Clementine, Chivalry 8. Just a very slight change there. After an ally attacks versus when an ally is... Oh! When an ally is attacked, chance to do this versus after an ally attacks has a 10% chance. So be really careful with some of these guys. There is some things that maybe weren't working as intended before that could have been a bug, but really it was just worded poorly. Attacks 1 time. Okay. Same thing for her passive skill and her Chivalry 1 passive. So when using skill 2, attacks 1 time, hits 1 random enemy, a total attack, whatever. 100% chance to reduce the target's attack gauge by 30%. She's no longer gonna heal the ally with the lowest HP when she... Wait. So they did change it, or maybe it just wasn't happening and it was supposed to not be there. It does just say description changes. It doesn't say skill, like they actually changed it. So maybe that was an error. That makes me confused because I have definitely been using her, and that would suck if we lost an extra heal. That was actually happening. Alright, so passive skill 1. Okay, this is why. Never mind. It's like, it depends. The Chivalry does not grant that. The Chivalry grants this. But the actual skill itself does do that. Heals the ally with the lowest HP. Okay. I feel better, but that's Chivalry 4. Changing with the passives. So maybe they were just an error with which one did what. Alright, Claudius. Same thing, but it's like when an ally is attacked versus after an ally attacks. Plural? I don't know. Gillian, when attacking. So hers is the same, just a wording and change. Guinevere, charge attack. Grants, let's see, attack 5 times, hitting 1 random enemy each time. So adjusting the wording as well. Nicholas attacks 1 time, hitting 2 random enemies versus attacks up to 2 random enemies. They did a really good job, honestly, with this. This is very impressive to see that they took the time to make things be clearer, because people were probably reporting bugs saying, my Tristan is not attacking 1 enemy 8 times. He's hitting random enemies with the Flame Relic. I remember someone saying that Tristan's Relic was bugged because it's random enemies, not how it's worded. But it's not bugged, it was just a bad description. So they fixed the description to match what was really happening. So let's be clear, each of those 8 hits are random, and that was intended. They just had it worded poorly. Clarison. Random enemy versus. Yep, just clarifying that things are random for a lot of these. Yep. They say 1 random enemy 2 times versus 2 times a random enemy each time. So everything could just be random hits, period. It's not like all those... It's not all gonna go to 1 random enemy, period. It's gonna go to some to this one, some to that one, some to whatever. Okay, so I'm trying to see if I should even keep reading any of these. It's been 28 minutes and we're still just talking about all these changes. There's so many changes. I think just be extra careful with your wordings, guys, when you're going in to your battles, because we still have real changes to look at. I'm not gonna even read the rest of those other little ones. Just some quick notes for Ardoin, Isolde, Clarison. Just slight wording changes that might have been wrong, and you might have thought they were a bug, but really it was just bad text. Okay. Improves passive skills that had max use increase as their description. This, I had no idea what they meant for some of them, like K. So, like, Turin adjusted the skill level up, so number of recovery increased turns +1. Alright, so passive skill at the start of the battle grants all allies recovery increase for 2 turns. Grants all allies recovery increase 1 for 2 turns if Ain is an ally. So, Ian, I mean, why would she do? Oh, so it's just gonna be 2 buffs instead of 1, I guess. Same thing here. Changes the weather to night and rain. Grants recovery increase 1 to all allies for 2 turns. If Ian is present, grants recovery increase 1 to all allies for 2 turns. That's her Chivalry 1. We're just adding all sorts of ways to give recovery increase. But even though that's pretty much what the passive already says, so a little bit confusing. K was very weird. So number of effect accuracy increase turns +1, effect accuracy increase rate +2. So it was like uses, maximum uses didn't make sense. What do you mean you only have a chance to use it 2 times? Oh, they still have that. What the fuck does that mean? At the start of the battle, 100% chance to gain... This doesn't make any sense. At the start of a battle, 100% chance to gain evasion rate, increase 2 for the rest of the turn. Rest of the battle. 100% or 50% chance to gain effect accuracy, increase 1 for 1 turn. Available 2 times. The only way that I think I said this in my other video, the only way this makes sense to me is if there's different waves and those waves count as at the start of the battle. That's the only way I could see this making any sense. Because what do you mean? It's the start of the battle. There's not like you use it multiple times. It just happens once and it's over with. So same thing here, just a slight different wording with that. The evasion rate, okay, no, they did actually, yeah, they added more. So her Chivalry 3 is now 100% chance to gain evasion rate increase 2 for the rest of the battle, 50% chance to gain effect accuracy increase 1 for 1 turn, and 100% chance to gain critical strike damage increase 1 for the rest of the battle. Lot, also, same thing, number of effect resistance increase turns +1, effect resistance rate increase +50 with his skill level ups. Passive skill, at the start of the battle, 100% chance or independent chance to grant each ally effect accuracy increase 2 for the rest of the battle. 50% chance to gain effect resistance increase 1 for 1 turn. Chivalry. They clarified these independent chances. And they did add 50% chance to gain effect resistance 1 for 1 turn. So they're just really grouping everything together that if you have Chivalry 1, these are all the things that happen at the start of the battle, so it's very clear. Boars has a attack speed increase rate of +50% with his 2nd level of one of his adjusted skills. And at the start of the battle for his passive 1, 100% chance to gain counterattack damage increase proportional to lost HP 3 for the rest of the battle. 50% chance to gain attack speed increase 1 for 1 turn. And then Chivalry 8 will be 100% chance to gain counterattack damage increase proportional to lost HP 3 for the rest of the battle. 50% chance to gain attack speed increase 1 for 1 turn. And 100% chance to gain Iron Fortress for the rest of the battle. Gawain. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Gawain. Number hit increase, accuracy increase turns +1. Hit accuracy rate increase +50%. And then this used to be just a basic, we already read that, like when the weather changes stuff, and now it's just granting this Night of May for the rest of the battle if the weather is day or heat, or the hit accuracy increase 1 for 1 turn. And Chivalry 1 is all the same things, but so Guardian, it turns to Guardian of May instead of Knight of May. So those are just different buffs for him. Okay, Gareth. So this is a rare. She let's see, ignore resistance rate of increase of +20 and +30 for her skill ups. And then her passive skill will say at the start of the battle, 100% chance to gain effect accuracy increase 2 for the rest of the battle. 50% chance to gain ignore resistance for 1 turn. Oh. Chivalry 8. 100% chance to gain effect accuracy increase 2 for the rest of the battle. 50% chance to gain ignore resistance for 1 turn. And 100% chance to gain Cyclone Fist for the rest of the battle. Really interesting. Rosier, we love her. Our crazy little... I don't even know. I don't even know what to call her. All right. Number of hit accuracy increase turns +1. Hit accuracy increase rate of +50% for her skill up. At the start of her battle for her passive, 100% chance to gain damage taken and attack increase for the rest of the battle. Or, I was like a swap. Damage taken to, I don't know. 100% chance to gain drain trigger rate increase 2 for the rest of the battle. 50% chance to gain hit accuracy increase 1 for 1 turn. And then her Chivalry 1 would say the same thing there, except adding, it'll be drain trigger rate increase 3 for the rest of the battle. And then the rest are the same, except damage taken to drain increase. So I don't know what the difference is with these two. Damage taken to attack increase or drain increase. They show them separately. That might be a typo, but I guess we'll figure it out. All right, fix the issue with Merlin Frost Relic active skill 3. Previously, the skill max level was displayed until level 5. It's been adjusted, displayed until level 6, and added damage plus 14%. But wait, that's not everything. We have a surprise. If you want to find some hidden coupon codes, try looking for the hidden trail in other notices. Special gift crystals, Legends Rise download. So we have promo codes. So I guess I will end this video with all of the working promo codes that I could find. Speaking of sort of a promo code, I'm going to have my own code. It's going to be Suzi Plays. And you guys are going to be able to support me as a content creator very soon. I heard it's like December 4th, if that's the case. Thank you to Stu for that information. But I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work because it's not showing up yet. But soon you'll be able to click a button to support your favorite creators. This is a like affiliate type thing where you can choose one person to support, and it's a content creator program where they get a percentage as like points based on how much you spend in the game. So if you're a spender, be sure to pick a content creator to support. And maybe that's me. Hi, I'm trying to buy a house with my cute baby and my husband who's also a content creator. Anyway, but this is not out yet, but I will insert everything once we have this. I will start advertising it once we actually can do it, but stay tuned for that. That's just a little heads up. All right, so if you want to enter coupon, there is a button right here on your PC client. However, this website here for a coupon event, you can actually access via a link, which I will put in the description. That is not the code. All right, so this is Legends Rise download. Legends Rise download. Can't believe this video was almost 40 minutes long. Oh my god. It's fine. There was a lot of changes. 100 free crystals has been sent. All right, and then we have King Arthur PC. This might be a PC client only, but I doubt it because you can use the website to enter coupon codes and then it'll go there through mobile. You just have to like log in or link your account with your member ID. Use 3 normal summoning tickets. And then the original one, Join King Arthur, is the one I've already claimed. So Join King Arthur. I realize you probably can't see that very well. I will put that on the screen. See, I'm gonna say I've already used it, I'm assuming. Yep. I've already used it, so that is what it is. And I think that's unfortunately all we have right now. I cannot seem to find any others. If we're missing any, feel free to comment below. And I'll see you guys in the next not as long video. I hope. It's going to be a review and a beginner guide, so potentially just as long. It's fine.